and then we'll get up out of here.
All right.
We spoke earlier about, I said that the ethnic group of women I see the most that pedestalize their men is Haitian women, Nigerian women, and Ghanaian women. Like every time I go online, they always speak very highly of their man, which in turn create this higher like desire. I've seen a lot more Black American women saying they want them an African man or a Nigerian man or Haitian man. Like, so with that being said, do y'all think that, being African women yourselves, do you think there is more competition for your men because of that?
Well, I would say yes and I would say no. Okay, so I would say no because this is my personal belief or based on my perspective. Most African men would prefer to marry within their own culture, within themselves. I'm not saying they, because I've said this before on my show and I've got bashed for it, right? Like African men would prefer to date or marry, another African woman. Based off culture, it's cultural. Just like, you relate to each other better and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, even though you will see an African man marrying a white woman or Black American woman or Asian woman, whatever, yeah, you'll see that happening, but it's not really the majority. It's like the minority. No matter how much you see it on social media, because if you go on social media now, you'll see a lot of Black African men marrying outside their races. I mean, outside their culture.
Yeah.
But it's literally the minority. Okay. African men are primarily marrying within their own. What I will say is that as far as competition, and this might hurt some people's feelings, and I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but I'm trying to watch my words.
Spill it out.
Okay. I feel like African men, the reason why a lot of African men are venturing outside of African women is because other women, American women, I'm not saying that they're easier, but they're easier to manipulate. They're they know they can get more out of an American woman as opposed to an African woman. Because like I'm Nigerian, right? So I can only speak for what I know. So a lot of Nigerian men right now, their main complaint about their fellow Nigerian women is this transactional. Everything about a Nigerian woman is about finance. If you don't have money, they don't want to talk to you. They don't want nothing to do with you. Everything is about paying my bills. How much is my monthly allowance? And I'm not making it up, right? So everything's about money, 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 what you can do for me.
Right.
But now you go to an American woman. American women, it's not transactional. It's more unconditional. We believe more unconditional compared to a Nigerian woman.
That's crazy.
American women, you can find a woman to love you. She'll pay your bills. She'll give you money.
Go 50-50.
She'll go 50-50.
Not I.
And women in Nigeria, like I said, I'm speaking for Nigerians.
Yeah.
We don't believe in the whole 50-50 notion and all that kind of stuff,
And this
right?
is majority.
It's mostly a man is the head of the home, he's a provider, protector, and all that good stuff.
Well,
so African men, they're seeing how, other women of other cultures are now, willing to do
give more.
things. So that's the main reason why they're willing to marry other women, because they don't want to deal with the wahala.
Yeah.
What
Nigerian women?
What are Nigerian women giving to their man?
Yeah, what's the role of a Nigerian woman in
just
that
living and
relationship?
existing and breathing.
That's it?
You didn't know that?
What you mean? What else? What else is there to do? I mean,
Cater,
fuck?
cook,
of course, yeah, you'll do that.
It's
But I'm saying that's just culture.
Long story short, they're just housewives.
It's the culture. Yeah. It's just
and
culture.
these the people you thought was the prize?
They are the prize because I am Ghanaian. So yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Nigerian women. No, to be fair, Nigerian women, we're very submissive. We cater to our men, all that kind of stuff. As opposed to maybe here in America, they don't believe in all that kind of stuff.
But
right?
that's the backlash they get with American women, is that American women are not really submissive like that. And that's the only thing that we have a leg up with African American women is because we are more submissive.
Another thing is, I see a lot of African women or other groups of women. Y'all may be submissive, but y'all also going to work for that man too. Y'all,
as far as what you mean?
Y'all on the road, y'all cooking, y'all making pantries, y'all sewing shirts, y'all doing a lot.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. But I guess what I'm trying to say is like, an American woman to them is just, they can get more out of them. Like
American woman would basically, long story short, American woman would do more for African men than an African woman would do. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Financially,
yeah.
let's be real. Financially, I'm not saying that's the only reason why they're dating
But
outside their
most
culture,
times.
but they know, and also, like I said, nowadays times have changed. So men of the older generations, they expect their women to be in a home, cooking and cleaning, giving birth. That's their primary source of their job or whatever. So they expect their women to be in a home. Now in this generation, the men, they would prefer I'm talking about African men now. They would like for their women to now be more independent, go out and have a job and all that kind of stuff. So things are kind of shifting now. If you don't know.
So in Africa or like Nigerian culture, y'all go to school and graduate college, get degrees and all that shit to sit in the house.
No.
Oh, no.
That's where you're missing the point. I'm saying back in those days, women, they weren't going to schools and they weren't doing all that. But now things have shifted. Things are changed. Gotcha. Women are going to schools, getting degrees, and
on
having
both sides,
businesses.
African and African
they're
American.
doing
We're being more independent.
But y'all still want a man to take care of y'all.
Why
of
not?
course, no. Why?
I ain't mad at y'all.
Thank you.
Nah, I am, because it's like the thing is, see, and this is why it's a little bit tricky, because we are in a society where the gender norms are changing, right? So again, when it comes to men, their traditional gender roles has not changed. You know what I mean? They still have to protect, provide, lead, whatever the case. Now, when we look at the women now, because you have, these opportunities to work, you don't have to depend on a man now. Now, your roles are starting to be interchangeable now. Like, the things that I used to do, the home care, well, a man can do that as well, or the cooking and cleaning.
And that's where the respect
men can
comes
also
less
do that.
to a man. Like, I will respect you less if you're not able, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is we never been in a society where women have had the same opportunity as men. So now we are trying to figure out how the fuck does family dynamics work now.
Right.
You say you respect him less if he doing those things?
No, okay,
or if he not doing those things?
For me, like, I just feel like if you're a man, this is just my preference. I want him to be the provider for everything. Like, I don't want to have to come out of because if that's the case, you might as well be my roommate. If I'm coming out of pocket, paying for this, that, and the third, we roommates. Then I can talk to whoever I want to, and you can too. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my thing. You have less respect if we both sharing chores. You know what I'm saying?
So
I put you on a
would
buddy
have
level. We'll be friends.
So,
I would. Go ahead.
My fault. So he's paying for everything, and you doing what?
It just depends on what he will allow me to do. That's where the submissive of an African woman. Me personally, I don't mind doing my own personal business. Like, I don't mind still. I want him to be able to allow me to work if I want to, and not if I don't have to.
And what you doing if you do work? What are you doing with your money? Like, what is that doing for the household?
Well, the household can be curtains, I can cook, buy groceries, things of that nature, whatever he allows me to do. Some men won't be like, here's my credit card. You don't even have to do all that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You see, with
Y'all talking about these TV niggas.
Well,
now I can still do it. I can still have the money for, if I want to be financially savvy with my money, I can use it for stocks. I can use it for bonds. I can use it for CDs.
But it's our money if I need it, right?
Well, that's what we got, the mutual bank account. I got my bank account.
Oh, nah.
And then you have yours. That's how it works for me.
Oh, okay.
This like I get what you could be saying, but to me, when I look at it, it doesn't sound like a fair exchange for men anymore. I'm be honest with you, and I think that's what some men, African or whatever, a Black American, Caribbean, that's what they're starting to see. Is not the equivalent exchange as it used to be. Now I still have to work 80 hours a week, while you talking about, damn, I don't. We have women on the show who said they would rather work than be a stay-at-home mom. And it's like, ain't that what y'all been communicating to us for the longest? And now that you're a stay-at-home mom, we gave y'all the opportunity. Now you talking about, it's too much of a hassle, I'd rather work. And then when you go to work, now you don't want to cook, you don't want to have sex, you don't want to do that. Like, so it's like, where's the compromise?
The dynamics have changed since women can get degrees and work, do manly stuff. But it just depends on what the female wants these days. I just feel like, if they want to do it, let them do it. And they don't, move on to the next female. There's plenty of females out there. So I feel like you don't have to be with that one girl that wants you to provide for everything. It's your personal
that's
preference.
Why I don't like to have this conversation, right? Because, I already said that I believe the productive relationship is the prize. But if you're saying there's plenty of women out there, then by and large, you're saying that you're not the prize, because I could just go out and get another you. You can't go out and get another man that's going to provide this lifestyle for you.
I can.
And you're gonna be competing with the other women trying to get that same man.
And
like,
that's what the baggage that comes with getting a man like that. It's come with cheating. It comes with other, just other things that
y'all don't mind a little cheat, right?
I mean,
no.
I don't
if he
want
paying them
it,
bills, right?
but all men cheat. But that's
Not
a
all
topic
men
for another
cheat.
day.
That's not.
Okay. Oh yeah,
all the men you want cheat for sure.
So anyway, like for an example, and that's why it's a competition with African American women and African women, is because that African man is going to be the provider more than that African man. I mean, African American man. So that's just my preference. I prefer to be with the African man. I don't even date Americans. If I do, I give them a try. If they not, then it's like back to my African man.
So you currently in a relationship?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. So you searching for that prize?
I'm not searching. He's looking for me.
Oh, he looking for you. Oh, okay.
Hope he find you.
I just feel like there's
If you're looking for her, she right here, guys.
Hit that like button.
I take my chances with the motherland. And I think that is another thing too. I think, the African women that have been raised in America or born in America are much more westernized. So you start to
we're
develop
more westernized.
So I'm hearing even the African men that are here saying they would rather a woman back home because she has those traditional values more than the ones that might have been compromised by Western society and feminism and stuff like that.
Yeah, they prefer their women to be, traditional, but at the same sense, like I said, nowadays a lot of African men, they're wanting to date American women, or not even American women, other women, because they feel like they're other women, they will love them more genuinely. The love is actually going to be from the heart, as opposed to what they're doing.
So you being a Nigerian woman, you think that all women think that that relationships are transactional? From your culture?
That's all they know.
Like how, it's just been like that for years.
We have to understand
but they also thought women was property too, like
as well as men.
You say men thought women are property?
Men looked at women as property, like.
I mean,
they brought y'all, and they treated y'all as property, like, you know what I'm saying? So, and that seems like that's the lifestyle, or that's the era that women want to go back to.
But that's where it started, though. That sound like the transactional relationship.
But you also have to understand, like, people who live in these third world countries, especially maybe like Nigeria, Ghana, they're hungry. The women are hungry. It's literally survival of the fittest. So that's the reason why things. They're not thinking about love. They're not thinking about love.
What do you mean?
They don't have
why they
time
have
for
all
love.
that money?
No, like I said, Nigerian women speak about Nigerian men as if all Nigerian men have this absurd amount of wealth that y'all could just go on a line and choose from. How many?
Let's be real. It's not really Nigerian.
How many
women
Nigerian men are wealthy in Nigeria?
Let's be real. It's not really Nigerian men who are talking. Nigerian women who are talking like that. It's mainly American women.
That is true.
It's mainly the American women who are now getting the chance to experience
what
Nigerian
they have to
and
offer. That provider.
Now you see them coming online talking about Nigerian men. Most Nigerian men, they don't like. Yes, they provide for their women. And I said this before in my show. Nigerian men provide, but it's not to the extent of what you guys are seeing on social media. Like,
or they're not giving
so
the
much
Americans
money.
as much. Like, American would get like a few $100s and they will go crazy. Like, oh my gosh, he just did this for me. But the African women, they're getting way more.
Y'all hear that, ladies?
No, this is a whole different. That's a whole different topic. What I'm trying to say is, like, African men or Nigerian men or whatever, they provide, but this whole Nigerian man, he's giving me all this money. It's not really like that. It's not.
But that's the picture y'all been painting. That's the picture, and that's why they see it.
Like, I don't want to say
it is like that.
It's more so.
It just depends on who's getting the money. That's what I feel like.
It's not the picture that we've been painting.
That's the only way you can tell your story. Like.
No, I honestly truly feel it's just something that's been recently painted by other women of other cultures. Because it's the norm. It's not. Why would a Nigerian woman not come online and start gassing Nigerian men up about him doing what he's supposed to do as a man? That's normal. But as opposed to American women, they're not used to a man fully providing for them, so they're gonna be making a bigger deal than what it is.
I think you got it. I think you guys got it wrong. They feel like those women feel like they're giving up their money up faster than a black man would give up his money. So right now they're looking at him as, oh, yo, He's Chase Bank right now.
Yeah.
We making a flip off him. They're the stupid boo-boo, the fool for us, right? The women that is getting the money from the African men.
Yeah.
But see, honestly, it just works both ways. It's transactional because at the end of the day, he's like, oh, well, I just pay all these girls groceries, whatever, but they're not getting wives. So y'all goofy because I'm back home with my wife and y'all, just sleazy or whatever. You know?
Because you know what annoys me a lot?
All getting the same dick.
What I hate, because if you guys go online, you'll see a lot of the men, like a lot of maybe like African men, they're marrying like older women, overweight women. Yeah, and if you see it, pay attention on TikTok, you see a lot of these Nigerian Ghanaian men dating and marrying fat older women.
That's because they got.
I don't want to say fat, but most of these women that they're marrying is not genuine.
Yeah, they trying to get that money on.
But what hurts me the most is how they're making, because the women, I'm telling you, they're American. They're loving them unconditionally.
Oh, yeah,
they're genuinely falling in love. They're giving them money. They're paying their bills, helping to build houses back in their home countries, all that.
Yo, show me where the black woman that's doing that.
American women are doing this for all these African men.
American, you gotta say black American if they.
And the naive.
Ain't no black women out here buying no houses, shipping it to Africa.
Well, it's foreign to them. African men are foreign to them, so they're gonna do something that's
Get the fuck out of here.
You
gotta prove that. I don't believe that.
I ain't gonna lie. They got some, bro.
So now you're seeing a lot of these
the overweight.
Because they will not date an overweight African women now.
Yeah,
women in Africa, you don't see them marrying older African women. Yeah. You don't see them really marrying overweight women like that.
Yeah.
We're not really overweight in Africa, period.
Yeah.
But in Africa, honestly, let me tell you the truth. If you see a man marrying a woman who's in her 30s, you don't even marry women in her 30s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my 30s.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you now say you're in the 60s and this man loves you genuinely?
Mm-hmm.
But someone like myself, it's hard for me to find a man who's
they do that in the Caribbean too, bro.
They do it, yeah. So it's so unfortunate these women are being so naive to think that these men really love them.
I mean, it's just flipping the script. Women been doing that for years. They be marrying the fat old dude, and he been buying them things.
Well, I think the women also they know because they're older. They may not have many options, so they're willing to just tolerate, settle. They know in the back of their mind, they know, okay, this guy is probably using me or whatever. So they're willing to take it because they love the way the men talk to them. Baby, I love you. I want to marry you. I want to take you home to my mom. All this kind of talk. They love it. It makes them feel good because they know they're not getting it from anywhere else. And they're not going to get it from nowhere else. So they're willing to take that little bit of fake love from the men for a little bit until it ends.
Each party is happy. Each party is getting what they want from each other. So
I am curious before we get about here. I am curious, because when you look at most countries in the world, they're not as diverse as a New York City or California or like a lot of states in America. Yeah. So I'm really curious to know if more African countries or Caribbean countries were as diverse with, different races and ethnicities, would the loyalty to one another still be the same? Because like say you go to Nigeria, 90% of the people look like you. There's really no diversity. So of course, you're most likely to date somebody that look like you. If you was giving more options, man or woman,
great question, bro.
To know if you would, you know what I mean?
Honestly,
date outside your race more.
I still feel like they will still hold it down 10 toes because just look at Atlanta. Atlanta is full of Africans and we are Black Hollywood. We have nothing but Black Jamaicans, Haitians, Hispanics, mixed with all types of stuff. At the end of the day, they still marrying their wives, like they African wives and girlfriends.
Most of them have their wives. They're marrying these women here, but they all have their wives and girlfriends at home that they're going to go back home to marry.
Shit, if I had the opportunity to do that, I do it too.
And that's where provider comes in at, and that's why back at home, it's just like they can have multiple wives because they can afford it. Out here, it's hard. Guys out here are busting their behinds to make ends meet. So just imagine you can't afford 2 or 3 girlfriends.
That's why passport bros is like, you know what I'm saying? The thing.
That's why the passport was going to Colombia paying these girls $50
girlfriends. They don't got no other standards.
I hate the passport bros because they complain about the same thing that these other women in these foreign countries are doing. These women in these foreign countries are doing the same thing that the women are doing here in America. They want money too.
Yeah,
So
but
what's
no,
the
no, 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 no,
difference?
no, no,
It's
no.
the
What's the
price.
difference?
The
It's
No,
the
no, no,
price.
no, no,
It's
no, no,
probably
Yeah.
no, but still,
Let me
they
tell you
still
what the
want money.
difference
The women
is.
are not loving you because they love you. They love you because what you can offer
Yeah,
them.
but I don't
Right.
think men necessarily really care about that. Men are very simple, right?
Because the submissiveness and
They
all
want
wants
certain
appease.
qualities in women that
Mhm.
they're not getting in America. Some men are not getting in
Yeah.
America. And yeah, we don't mind. Some men don't mind being transactional, being that sole provider, as long
Yeah.
as we're getting a fair exchange. What
Yeah.
men are saying now is we're not getting that fair
Talk your
exchange.
shit.
We
But
gotta
that-
provide, we get masculinity, we gotta do all of this, we get attitude, we can't, like, we're not
But that's
getting the
what we're
same qualities.
comparing
Like,
the African American woman compared to the African woman is because what is that African American woman giving? Attitude, oh, I'm about to leave you. I'm finna go. Like all that, it's almost overwhelming and it's too much. And that's why y'all dip
Instead of them listening, they're gonna get defensive after you said that. But great point.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's
Listen,
just, it's a back and forth.
Yeah.
Like it's not one.
Yeah.
It's always like, tussling back and forth.
Can I ask
between
one
your
question real
partner.
quick though? Do you think that African women will start going into like the BBL phase to?
They already
they're
there.
already-
What you
oh,
mean?
they're
They're already in a BBL
Yo,
phase. We're here now.
I think that is a flaw. I think that is a flaw, real quick, because we do have to fuck about it.
Yeah.
I think that is a flaw. I dated an African woman before, and I think she was much more westernized. And
I thought you said she was wet. I'm like, what?
she was westernized. She was Americanized.
Much more wet.
So in my head, I'm always hearing that African women are the prototype. Everybody wants to be like the African women.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I going into this relationship, I'm thinking I was going to get much more of an organic, natural, built woman.
Gotcha, bitch.
And she was just as enhanced and wigged out. I mean, she didn't have a BBL or nothing like that. But I was getting the same aesthetic. I felt like I was just dating another Black American woman. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like I was dating an African
you do
woman.
have your more, because I'm not to toot my own horn. I feel like I'm Americanized, but I'm not to the extent of an American. I still hold my traditions. I'm very, very traditional when it comes to my thinking. So I feel like you have to find a woman who still has those same values.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Because there's a lot of Americanized Africans that you can meet every day, and you will never know that they're African because of how they are. But there are so many of us who really are traditional that you really just have to take the time to find, but they're out there.
They are. Shout out to my best friend who's a female named Kafalat. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's a real.
Yeah, that's a real
I
one,
ain't
yeah.
never know her name. Like,
Yeah.
okay, like
That's
what.
what-
Like,
yeah.
yo. Anyway, let them know. First of all, we appreciate y'all for pulling up all the way
Indeed.
from Atlanta. Let them know where they can follow y'all at.
Yes, follow us on all social media platforms. The Lounge.atl, baby. Also on YouTube, the Creative Lab TV. Please follow us on all social media platforms. It's your girl Tyra, all the way from ATL, honey, representing the Lounge ATL. Follow me on my social media platform as well, Tyra Omatola. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, please.
Subscribe, support them.
Support us.
Support our African sisters. You know what I mean?
For sure. Like,
Your night job, babe.
And Ghana Bay. So again, I'm Ava, aka Abana at Abana the Diva.
And if you the prize looking for us, yeah, you know what I mean?
When they be saying the sexiest of the sexiest. I don't know. Them niggas be funny as shit.
This nigga got the worst accent in the world.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, man, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Comment in the I know y'all gonna be going crazy in the comment section.
Definitely gonna go
Make sure
crazy.
y'all-
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man.
And no
Guys,
beef.
please love us.
We
Don't
just
hate
had a
us.
conversation.
Yes.
It's like I said,
Good
these
to know.
conversations are important to have. I know they get passionate, but we got to just come out of it with love and just recognize that we all are
Respect,
Africans.
man.
Yeah.
As long as you respectful at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Appreciate
Yeah.
y'all, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.